Alright, today we're doing Golden Shark. In my opinion, this is probably the second hardest heist to stealth, especially as the difficulties go on. So on very hard, you can only loop cameras for 5 seconds, and then on overkill, there's the lead guard. So I think this is pretty tough. I recommend going into it with a team. First, you want to run here and search for the phone here because you get the QR code from it. Ignore the like manager human resources thing. You honestly don't need to do that. Run over here to the loan office, because in here is always, from what I've seen, it's always this red key card. You find it in either the drawers there or the files of paper. So just run in, quickly grab that, and then here you go, run all the way over here, make sure you're not spotted, because civilians will call police on you doing this, and then boom, you're in the next section already. So next up, you will have to figure out what the code is. So you can blindly try all the codes out, and that will work. I've done it before, it works. But the other way is there's 2 server rooms on this floor. They're both on the opposite side of the stairs. So one is on the side I'm on. I'm kind of looking around for guards and such. And right in front of the civilian here is where one of the spawns is. For this run, it ended up spawning on the other side, right here. Go ahead and go in. There is a civilian that comes in every once in a while, but for the most part, you don't really have to worry about it. Hit the computer, it'll go for a while, and then at a certain point, about 60%-ish, it will lock. And in order to stop it, you go to the other side of the room. You see me here coming out and then running. So it's either there on the right, or it'll be over here on the left where a friend is. I run over to there inevitably. But essentially there's 2 IT rooms. And in one of the IT rooms is a computer that you need to hack in order to continue hacking the computer in the server room. So go ahead and let that get through, and then you end up going back over to the server room, and once that IT room computer is complete, then you can go ahead and restart this, and essentially you can just leave it, head right towards the vault. And that's how you get the vault code. Alright, with the vault code in tow, go ahead and come in. You'll typically see it up on the top left. Here, I already knew about it because of a reset on a run. So there's always a camera in this room. It's on either side. And then there's always a guard upstairs patrolling around. You can see he's right there. I typically see him spawn on the left side. I've had camera spawns on left or right. So now you gotta go over to one of the tablets. It'll tell you to do the color code stuff. So there's a total of 4 of them. One is, I've seen them pretty much always spawn in the same spots, but one is right here, and then after each individual one, you have to go back and check what the color is. This is after a handful of resets, so I already knew what all colors are, because when you restart the heist, all RNG in it stays the same, so the colors will always be the same, placements and stuff will always be the same. So here's the second console. You saw me grab a keycard off the guy. I'll go into that after this step. Over where that guard is that I just marked is another one, but he was there for the run, so I couldn't sneak past him. Now next, on the other side of the area, there's a panel right there on the wall. There's a camera overlooking it. On the higher difficulties, you typically really can't loop the camera, so I just sit here and kind of freak out at it, waiting for it to turn the other way, and then you can interact with them from pretty far away, so you don't have to worry too much. You can pretty much be underneath the camera, in fact, and still get it. And then the other spawn that I've seen is over here on this wall. So you only need to do 4. Once you got all 4, you're good to go. So now we want to grab the blue keycard. So you saw me nab it off of this guy earlier. I'm showing it again, just to specifically show you an interaction that I'm doing it. Since you're grabbing it off of an NPC, make sure no guard or camera can kind of see you doing it, or hell, even other like high tier NPCs like managers and stuff. So yep, just go ahead and grab it off of him. So that's one of the 2 spots I've seen. Alright, and then the other spot that you'll want to grab, it's in this office room over here to all the way to the right. You can typically go in from the other side, but it's here on the table there that you can grab it. Now that you've got the 2 blue security cards, what you want to do is you want to come back. Be careful about where the guard is in here and everything, and even the camera placement. And you're going to end up wanting to sneak all the way back over to that panel. I just gotta wait for the camera. Again, the camera can spot you if it's on the opposite side of the panel, so just wait for it to walk away. Run over to it, deactivate. That deactivates the lasers, and now you just need to get into the vault. So now, I gotta There we go. Wait for that to be gone, and when he's there, he can't really see the door, so you're free to sneak out. So you want to go directly to the opposite side of the stairs, is the manager's office. You need the blue key card for this. Go ahead and use it. There's a couple money piles here. You can go and grab those, and then interact with the computer. So an important thing, I recommend not staying in the room. Because when you're in the room, if a higher tier civilian, or I mean even like a guard, can come over and see you in the room, and then they'll call the police. I've had it happen where civilians have like a high civilian person will see me in there, and then totally ruin the run. Next, that's important, is after you activate the computer fully, you will have to run all the way back to the vault. There'll be a time limit. You need the person with the blue key card to be able to run back. So it's a good idea to wait for the guards here to not be in sort of the path, especially if you're doing a solo like I am here. Oh, in fact, here's the civilian who just walked by. If I was still in the room, she'd have noticed me, and I'd have to mask up and deal with her. So yeah, the guards will walk on this side. They'll also mirror it on the other side. So what I'd do is I'd time it. When he starts walking away, I'd run back in, because right now I just have to hit confirm on the computer. So I should be about to do that in a second. Yep, there you go. He starts walking away, so I run in, hit confirm on the computer. Now in the top left, you can kind of see the green bar. That's how much time you have. It's actually pretty long. This was on very hard. It's pretty long. It goes down pretty slowly, and you have to, with the blue key card, run back to the vault, the keypad on the vault, next to the vault, and use the blue keypad on it. It's a lot of time, but I mean, if you're not sort of timing it right, you can totally waste a lot of time. Then go ahead and open the vault, make sure the camera's not looking and the guard isn't looking. I walk away because the camera turns and it can totally see you right there at the vault. So just stand back and let it happen. It's all good. Make sure you can kind of keep an idea on what's around you. There's one camera in the vault in the back there. You can kind of see it there. But the important part is in one of these lock-picked areas that have the gate. There's the two cabinets underneath. You open up the right one, and you have to find the server for it. So go and grab the server. So now I'm going to show you two different kind of things I recommend. Now, if you're with other people, what I recommend is actually one of you ends up masking up, because bringing loot out of this room really sucks, because of the guard and the camera. So yeah, if there's more than one person, I recommend you can either get the guard's attention by running, which is what we did here, or wait until he's in a good spot away from cameras upstairs, and then having somebody just deal with him real quick. That way you can easily move bags in and out. You can take out the cameras here without having to worry about the guard spotting the cameras, and then you also don't have to kill the security guard that mans the cameras. So I super recommend that with other people, even on the higher difficulties. Now if you're solo, I recommend not masking up at all. It's way tougher to do solo, but you just kind of sneak out to wherever the opposite of the guard is. I typically snuck out behind the camera, so I don't have to worry about where the camera's position is. And then just keep an eye out for the guard. Motion sensors work really well. I figured that out after this when I started doing it with a friend, and he's like, yeah, just use motion sensors so you always know. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty smart. Because typically I'd use ECMs. But if you put a motion sensor underneath where he is there and then where I am here, you can pretty much always figure out where he is in a 360, in parts of the room. But yeah, just wait for him to walk by, and then make sure the camera's not watching you, and then slowly walk out, so that way he doesn't get alerted and walks down. You can, because guards don't give a shit if you have a bag on your back, you can just walk straight out the front door, and this is how I recommend people who aren't masked up move bags. Just straight out the front door, take a right. There's a garage down here. There's always a guard that patrols around here. So in run, I'm like, man, why is this a private area? So I start looking outside, and right there's the private parking sign. Weird, but okay. So yeah, so it's a private area. The guard will see you. He'll walk you out. So there's always one. I found there's always one camera looking directly at the van. Sometimes there's another camera to the right side of the screen on that pillar there. I've seen a camera spawn there also, with like both the cameras there. So either wait until it's not facing you, you can hack it for the 5 seconds, and then quickly run away, which is what I did here. So after you've moved all the bags, and this is specifically with one other person who masked up, come help them make sure that the way is clear so the heist doesn't fuck up at the end. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just sort of marking things. I nod there to show him it's all good. Because, yeah, it sucked to ruin the run here. Because somebody just didn't help the guy with the mask on. So here's the other way into the garage. I don't recommend this for bags, but obviously if you want to, you can. There's a big hallway here. It's got cameras and a guard that tends to walk back and forth on it. So I'd really recommend not taking bags here, but if somebody's masked up, you don't want them running through the front door, because they're going to get spotted. There's a guard that sits right there at the front door, so you kind of have to go this way. So what this guy has is he has the one hacker perk where you can distract guards. He just pulled his phone out, you can see there that he did it. So we run in behind, and now just run to the van once you've got all the bags. So there's the camera again, looking directly at it. I quickly hack it, and then loop it, even though it's only 5 seconds, but that way you can kind of run in place, and by the time it spots you again, it's done. But yeah, good luck with the heist.